And Senator, just your initial thoughts as the news crossed the wires.
Oh, Charles, this is such a blessing. Pro-lifers have fought for decades to build a culture of life. And what is so interesting to me, calls coming into our office, when they would say, oh, we don't want a ban on abortion, we would say, well, it's not. This sends it back to the states. And they would say, oh, well, I didn't understand that, because that made sense to them, that the state where they live, Tennessee, would be able to set regulations and restrictions on abortion. So I think we have some that are overreacting. I thought it was a very inappropriate, Merrick Garland's statement today. The president's statements I find so interesting because he had supported a constitutional amendment that would send abortion back to the states. And that was back in 1972. So it's really sad to see how he is now changing what he had at one point believed.
Senator, to that point, and I was taking some notes as President Biden was speaking, and it stood out to me. He says where it's taking the nation down an extreme path. He used these examples of rape and incest, and then of course we know that they would like to codify Roe, but the notion that maybe they would be willing to change the rules that are already in place. I mean, just what do you make of his reaction? Obviously, he's got to go. I guess he's got to be political to a certain degree, but it just seems like it's fanning these flames more than they need to be fanned right now.
Yes, and you have these groups like Jane's Revenge and Ruth Sent Us that are saying they're going to carry out this night of rage and summer of rage. And it's inappropriate for the Attorney General or the President or the White House or anyone to be fanning those flames of rage. There are plenty of times decisions have come down from the court that I didn't agree with, but I respect the court and their right to make those decisions. And what we see with this is that as they exercise their right to revisit a decision, as they looked at the Dobbs case, and Attorney General Lynn Fitch of Mississippi, who led this effort and did a wonderful job with this effort, laying out that that case, that the court looked at that reasoning that she had presented to the court in her briefings and the argument that her team made, and they decided, yes, indeed, this is something that should go back to the states, to the people, to have their say.
You mentioned educating callers who have their own concerns in your home state. How concerned are you, though, with the Clarence Thomas opinion that appears to have left the door open for the left to make these claims? I mean, they're saying that now the courts are going to ban same-sex marriage, mixed race marriages, that they're contraception. I mean, they really have said that that this is the aim now of this quote-unquote Trump-led court.
What they need to realize is this decision is about abortion, and who makes these decisions on abortion. And that's what they presented today. Now the states are going to take the lead in setting these regulations and restrictions, and it is not a ban on abortion.
What about the other part of their argument that you're going to hear a lot, that this will devastate, have a really dramatic, overwhelming, devastating economic impact on disadvantaged women?
I really beg to differ with that. And I know a couple of times there have been those in the administration that have tried to make that argument, and I have found Senator Tim Scott in his response to Janet Yellen being so effective in how you want to make certain that everyone, regardless of their zip code, regardless of their status in life, that those children have their right to life. And that is what this is about. And I think that what you're going to see is the states move forward. I know that many church groups and many crisis pregnancy centers when there is someone who is expecting a baby and they are having a difficult time,
Right.
they really wrap their arms around
Right.
those individuals
Yeah.
and walk with them through that process. And I think you're going to see more of that, Charles.
I think so too. Senator Blackburn, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
Hey.